Hey friends, Anish Majumdar here, career coach to the fiercely ambitious. Back at you today with a video that is designed to do one thing. Get you out of the underpaid, specifically habitually underpaid trap. And let me be clear about this. I don't know you specifically, right? I don't know you watching this. Let me make a statement. You are underpaid. Most people are underpaid. Within that, there is a certain proportion that is drastically underpaid. And that happens at all levels, that happens at all industries. So it is a problem that really deserves serious thought. If you're worried about affording retirement, affording your kids' college educations, just having a standard of life that suits you, understand that the first place to look at should not be more training. Should not be finally getting another job or another thing, although we'll talk about that in a second. It should be about correcting this gap. It should be about getting fair market value for what you do today, not what you've been doing 5 years ago, right? And it affects everyone. I'll give you an example. I recently worked with a client who works for one of the big Goldman Sachs-ish institutions in New York City. She'd been there her entire career. She recently found out while doing an evaluation that a junior member of her team was making not just the same amount she was, more than she was. And when she finally brought it up, she thought she'd been getting paid fine. She was happy. It wasn't about money with her. When she finally brought it up to the attention, guess what they told her after a lifetime's worth of service? Sorry, so sorry for that clerical error. Let's just correct that error, right? That's what they said. So it happens to everyone. And you may say, I'm Anish, I am not a cold capitalist, I am not a materialist. It's not about that. The more you ask and get your fair market worth, the more skin in the game employers have, the more respect you're treated with, the more openness, the more options you have. Straight up. So you may not think about money, but you're darn sure going to be thinking about all of the ways that can ripple out, right? And that's what we all want here, right? Please tell me you're not watching this video just to get more of the same, because you should stop. All right? For everybody else, let's get into it. Have a notepad, have a pen, and get ready to put this into action, okay? Step number one, especially if you know it's getting harder and harder to work, you feel like you've been underpaid, you've been at the same company for several years, chances are you're in this habitually underpaid sort of trap here. Number one, clean sheet your entire brand. Change the entire approach. Take all of that into the shop and make sure that what comes out is now commensurate with where you are. This is step number one, okay? If you've been spending years just adding onto your resume, just adding onto your LinkedIn profile, the same tricks that kind of worked for you out of grad school, okay? Take all of that out. It is a poisoned well. It is filled with the person who came up, and that's not what we want. Just like no employer wants to take a chance on somebody, right? You gotta be and wear the clothes of the level that you're at and take the actions, inhabit the behaviors, and then and only then will the universe shift and give you the results that you're looking for. In other words, internal change happens first, branding happens second, universe happens last. Straight up, there is no other way to do it. Anything else is just cheapening the process, okay? So what does that mean? Okay, think about it like this. I help leaders achieve X through Y and Z. And X should be simple. X, the bottom line benefit, the simpler it is, the clearer it is. Every business, every CEO, they want to grow, they want to mitigate risk, they want to have a better, more engaged talent, they want to make smarter decisions through things like analytics, they want to get higher returns for their marketing, and they want it ideally to be digital, online first right now, and built in. These are simple, okay? The more complicated that answer is, I help achieve X through Y and Z. The more complicated that is right now, and try it out right now, the more complicated it is, the weaker. I just want you to imagine your asking price going like this. The more excess verbiage, I help them do this, the more optional it sounds. I help anyone do this better. I can do it. It's just going down, 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 down. So high level. What is the most high level expression of what you do? And Y and Z are ways in which only you can do it. The unique combination of how you do it. You might think, oh, well, I'm strong in finance. I'm strong in ops. I'm strong in analytics. What's the unique way you can partner with businesses right now that ties those three things together as only you can to deliver a benefit no one else can? Okay? Where's your magic? Okay? And then think about making your brand, resume, LinkedIn, face-to-face strategy, all of this, you want that to embody this. You want it to embody this ultimate new high-level outcome, okay? Based on where you're at today and what you think that next powerful step forward should be, okay? So clean sheet this thing. Throw away all the old, okay? You can't bring in something better unless you're willing to do that, okay? So really, do not start sharing that stuff if it's still old without you really doing that work to say, what do I represent? And then right at the start of your LinkedIn, in the headline and in the about section, right in the top half of your resume, the focus of those areas should be exclusively on your answer to that. Okay? Now, next on the heels of this, okay, clean sheet your brand. Next, drift in the competition. I like to think of it as an 80-20 split in terms of competitive drifting. Let me explain. If I know that I'm ready and I'm playing ball at the CTO level, okay, what am I doing starting from scratch? That's like me starting a car company and saying, yeah, I could build an 8-ton, 8-wheeled monstrosity, but in terms of sellability, probably something with 4 wheels, probably something with 2 to 4 doors. Not a bad idea, right? So think in those terms. How much time are you spending looking at the best CTOs right now? You could go on LinkedIn right now, do a search for CTOs, do a search for people who are operating in the same industries that you want to be a part of. Look at the most visible ones that pop up. Study their backgrounds. Study how are they handling their LinkedIn profiles? How are they handling the keywords that are in their profiles? What kind of groups do they belong to? What kind of companies are they following? Take all of that, okay? And think 80-20. Take the 80% that is coming up over and over and over again. The ideas, keywords, points of view, groups that are being followed over and over again. Take all of that, and then 20% goes into your unique magic. 20% is the frame, it's the container, right? So that gets all the visibility, but what's underpinning the visibility is stuff that you already know is going to improve your visibility and your sense of he's bringing something new, but not risky new. Something which is a new variation that is based on expertise and something that I'm familiar with. That's the magic. That's why I say 80-20, right? 80% competitive drifting, 20% your answer to clean sheeting your brand and what that represents, okay? Next, start consulting. And I know that sounds crazy, especially to those of you who've never done it before. What I mean by that, let's replace it. Start helping people. Start helping people. If you're a CTO and you know that companies need to get ahead of this technology wave if they're going to survive, what are you doing spending 8 hours a day looking at your computer silently and recriminating yourself? Put some posts up on LinkedIn. Start sharing that. Start asking questions of your network. Hey, has anybody else been feeling this? Has anybody else been dealing with that, right? Would love to jump on the call with you. Let's discuss this, right? Who do you know? Who's feeling the pain right now? You don't have to transactionally push them for an offer, but can you help them right now? Why aren't you on the phone with them? Why aren't you sending an email to them, right? Why aren't you messaging them on LinkedIn, right? There are ways in which you can help that doesn't require an offer to do. And the more of that you do, the more you're sending that sign to the universe that the change has already occurred. It's also going to make connection requests easier. It's going to make dialogue easier. All of it is going to keep moving forward. Start helping people right now, okay? Start helping people for absolutely free. All right, send it out, send it out, send it out. Gel in your understanding of what you're offering. Gel in your understanding of the marketplace. If you've been at a company for too long, this is the best way to start breaking out of that bubble, okay? And finally, when the time comes to express a range, it's about fair market value, okay? You could ask me to tie your shoelaces, or you could ask me to build a pair of shoes for you. They are different jobs. The fair market value for this is going to be different than the fair market value for that, correct? So PayScale resources, payscale.com, salary.com, glassdoor.com, get up to date with what the fair market range is within the regions that you want to be looking at. Take a look at what those salary ranges are. Add on some padding to those things, okay? And when the time comes where you have to give a number there. And if they ask you, bring it into the pain that you've identified, bring it into the pain that needs to be solved, and then tie it in. This is fair market value. In many states, it's illegal right now to even ask what you were making in your last job. So take that excuse out of your mind, blow the brains through that polluting idea, and take it all in this way. Remember, he who wears the clothes, who embodies that person and the solution, will have the universe operate in kind. Can you do that? That's my challenge to you. Keep the questions coming. The next place to go, if you're being exposed to me for the first time, is helloanish.com, HELLOANISH.com. You're going to find more videos, more training, more information that no one else is saying, because they don't really want you to succeed. I really do, and I only want you to succeed. All right? helloanish.com. Talk to you soon.